88.1 XFM Tauranga Set Music Station, also another sponsored episode of Mike Time with Marty. Jet's Car Grooming, all the way from Tauranga. If you want your car suspected span, just go to Jet's Car Grooming. I have a familiar face to the magic world. He has been on Penn Teller Fool Us twice. He has fooled the one and only Ellen DeGeneres. And he has also become Mr. Magician of the Year. Say hello to the one, the only Mr. Shawn Farquhar.
Hey, how are you?
So, first of all, big question to start off with.
Sure.
Magic, how did you get started?
Oh, I've been doing it pretty much all my life. I tell audiences, my mom says when I was born, the doctor slapped me and I said, pick a card. Uh, my dad was a magician, my grandfather, my great grandfather. I'm like the fourth generation without a real job. My dad just showed me card tricks when I was a kid, pulled coins out of my ears. My grandfather showed me stuff. The next thing I knew, I was in the card room with them, learning to do magic tricks. Over the years, I was really lucky to have lots of mentors. There was an old guy that worked at the racetrack in Summerside, PEI, who was named Boots Frame, and he did magic as Fargo the Magician. And seeing, somebody other than my dad doing magic was kind of cool, and he helped me along. Yeah, just I've been addicted. I'm still addicted to magic. I'm down to 2 packs a day.
So here, my dad was the one that showed me my first ever magic trick, and then I've just been obsessed with it. Also, cardistry. I love that kind of stuff.
I think I saw the first cardistry, I guess, would be Chris Kenner when he did his Sybil cut. And I remember just going, what the? And then after that, people like Dynamo that took it to a whole new level off the chins and stuff. Dave and Dan Buck. I remember meeting them in 2000 in Portland, Oregon. They were like just teenagers. And the one said, what do you think of this? And did like a triple cut throughout the middle section, hacky sacked it back up in the air, sandwiched between the two. And I was like, what the hell was that? It was so cool. It was like, I've watched this cardistry has become something really extraordinary.
Hmm. Okay, so I hope I don't make you feel old on this question, but
Okay.
what were you doing in 2002 with doing magic?
In 2002. So in 2000, I just won the PCM Grand Prix Award, which put me onto the Norwegian Sky. So I was working about 10 months out of the year on a ship with my daughter, who was 2 years old, just turning two. She was born in 2000. So it'd be in her second year. So I was, no, not on the Sky. I would have been on the Norwegian Dream, and I would have been in the Black Sea doing cruises around Istanbul, Turkey to Kiev in Ukraine. That's what I was doing. And
Wow,
you were being born, right?
I was.
Yay.
Just thought I'd ask. Just thought I'd ask.
I am old as dirt. Well, I know some dirt that's younger than me, but
But okay, so what was it like fooling the amazing Penn and Teller the first time, not only the second time?
the first time was really, well, I'd actually said no to doing the show. I'd been invited multiple times, and just the idea of a show about fooling, I didn't get it. And I'm not about fooling. I don't think magic is that. So I declined it a number of times. And I was working in Paris, and I got a phone call just basically saying, are you sure? Because, Johnny Thompson said you'd be great. And they'd never mentioned his name before. And I went, what's Johnny Thompson got to do with this? Oh, he's the judge. And I was like, yes, I'll be there. So I hopped on a plane from Charles de Gaulle just to London. So like an hour jump. I arrived, the technical crew took me. I did my little, the opening scene stuff in a pub that was Canadian, then went to the hotel, showered, shaved, and went to the studio and did the show. So there was no build up or anything. It was like just there, do it, not a lot of thought. I just picked a routine that I used in the World Championship, the signed card and sealed deck that uh, I did it didn't go well, the filming, because they were late by an hour starting. So they had a 750 person audience that was already in there that were all agitated waiting. And then they built these really cool doors that opened and closed. You'll see them on the show where they open and the guests were used to come through the center, and then they close it. So it didn't work. They ran my whole video trailer for the 750 people and said, welcome, Shawn Farquhar, and the doors wouldn't open. And so everybody laughed. And I'm like a racehorse just behind waiting to come out. And it was like, okay. So then they went, let's fix the doors. So they got some guys out with screwdrivers fixing the doors because they literally built the theater that day. It was the end. They'd probably been building it for weeks, but that was their last day, still building it. Well, they were still building it while I was on stage because then they introduced me a second time, ran the video trailer, and the doors opened about that far. So I couldn't get through. So I just stuck my arm through and waved at the audience that all cheered and screamed. It was on the third one. They disengaged the motors and two guys just pulled it apart and I walked through and then they pushed them together again. When I finished my act, they stopped the camera because Penn had trouble with his microphone. And so then we sat for, well, it seemed like a lifetime. It was probably 5 minutes, but whatever it was really long for me to be just standing on the stage in front of 750 people saying nothing, watching while Penn and Teller talked about my trick. And I was like, what's going on? And then the host, Jonathan Ross, goes, we'll just pretend this has been like 30 seconds, Shawn, and we'll roll. And he goes, okay, rolling. And I said, so Shawn, what do you think? I said, I think they've had enough time to build a prototype. It was like, it was a long time. But I didn't go on the show to fool them. I went on to showcase my trick, and I was thrilled. I was the first guy on the first day of the principal filming. They'd already done a pilot, I guess, 6 months before. But when they started the actual season, I was the first guy, first day, fooled them, freaked out, wasn't sure. It was like, wow, it's so great. Went off stage just bouncing. They didn't have trophies back there or anything. And they let us actually watch. So I went to the green room, cracked the beer open, and I watched the other performers. And there were a lot of great people on the show that all have gone on to huge fame. It's kind of crazy when I look back that I sat in a room with a bunch of these people and just hung out.
That is amazing. So when you think of Penn and Teller, what three magicians do you think of?
When I think, from like Fool Us and what magicians come to mind?
Yeah, Fool Us or just Penn and Teller in general?
Well, Penn and Teller, when I think of them, first, they're iconic and they're amazing. It's funny because as a young man, they used to expose stuff and I was so against everything they were, but I realized it was a gimmick and that they were really clever and that, Teller has this true love of magic and Penn has a love of the truth. And just the two of them together are just such an awesome. But when I think Penn and Teller, the first name that comes to me is Johnny Thompson. Because Johnny, greatest walking magician since Vernon passed, and he was a friend and a mentor and such a clever man, just a wealth of knowledge and supportive. And he's helped them through their career and was the judge for their show. And so that pops into my head. And then later, Mike Close took over. And so when I think Penn and Teller now, I think of Mike Close because he basically is the new Johnny Thompson looking after the show, making sure it all happens. Yeah. They're the people that I think of off the top. They're really smart, Penn and Teller. They surround themselves with great people. And when I think of performers who have been on the show, people like Matthew Beach with his sorry little card, absolute Kostya, Kimlet doing the Roadrunner, Richard Turner, just so incredible. Michael Vincent's been on twice and just does the most amazing classic magic. And you can tell he's not there to win a trophy. He's there to go, look, this is what magic embodies, and this is the emotions you get. I love that stuff. Also loved Kostya's second one where he did the spinning wheel. What a great to go. I'm going to explain it to you, and then slap you afterwards. It was like really good.
I love it. So, for the history that has been my show, I've had Ryan Hayashi on my show, and I absolutely love him. The way that he's able to bring comedy as well as into magic. So, do you find it hard being funny when you're trying to show a magic trick that you hope goes right?
Really great question. First and foremost, if you ask Ryan Hayashi, I am president of the Ryan Hayashi fan club. So,
Okay.
He's Canadian.
Yes.
Yeah, most people don't know that. We've known each other forever. Putting comedy into magic is a really delicate line because if you make it too funny, it's no longer magic. And if it's too magic, it won't be funny. And a lot of comedy magicians just do gags and stuff and at the expense of magic. This new trend of do a trick, show how it works, get slapped in the head really annoys me as just not as a magician, but as a spectator, because it's insulting my intelligence. It's going, yeah, you're just making me feel stupid. Screw you. Um, and then there's magic where they say it's comedy magic, but there is no comedy other than the expense of the spectator. When you
Mhm.
make fun of somebody, oh, I really dislike that. Any magic where you use the spectator like as a prop. If you want someone just to hold something, get a table.
Mhm.
So for me, finding that thin line. When I created Sheer Luck, my second Foolish appearance with the book test, I I just picked. I made a goal to myself. I wrote down 6 magic tricks that I don't like and why I didn't like them. And one of the magic tricks on that list was book tests.
Mhm.
I don't like book tests because 90% of them, the performer has to be pompous, pretentious, and say, or they're saying they're delving into your mind. And what exactly is a book test? I'm looking through your eyes to see what the words are. And I was like, they're all going to guess you memorized the book. So why don't you tell people you've memorized a book? Then at least you've got an exceptional skill, right? But then when I started doing the book test and figured out a way to make it like that, I was like, but now it's not really entertaining. And that's where the comedy came in. And it was like, how can I make this funny? And I wanted it on different levels. I wanted it first funny, like I was making fun of the spectator. So that, because that's the normal easy comedy.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to switch it. So at the end, the spectator is the one that's right and everybody else is a fool. And then everybody go, oh my God, wow, that's incredible. And it makes them then question why they laughed at the first thing when they didn't laugh at the second one when it was their turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, comedy's hard. Magic's easy.
I'm in the wrong
worked,
line of work then.
I worked in comedy clubs all over, and I worked with some of the best comics that have come out of Canada, North America, and I saw them at their worst when they were learning their craft and when they bit, when they sucked. And yeah, magic. I used to work with a guy named Brett Bunt who wrote a television series that's done really well called Corner Gas in North America. And Brent would always say, "You go first. You have the shiny objects." He wanted the shiny objects would attract attention, so I'd always win. If a crowd was drunk, I could go, "Look, it's a shiny." Or you don't have the people's attention. You have the people's attention, right? I mean, it just, yeah.
Love that. Okay, so Shawn, as a renowned magician, you have to be quick on your feet. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself?
2. Yay.
2. Okay, well, let's see if we can bump that 2 to a solid 5. I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions. You just got to answer them as quickly as you possibly can.
Sure.
Okay, Coke or Sprite?
Or Coke.
Okay, sunset or sunrise?
Sunrise.
Summer or winter?
I watch them as they're coming up because I haven't gone to bed yet. Okay.
Fair enough. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Okay, favorite movie?
Oh, Braveheart.
Love
Freedom.
it. Favorite musician?
Sting.
Ooh, classic. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could visit one place in the world, where would you go?
I guess now Bali.
Ooh,
I haven't been to
fancy.
Bali. I've been to like 70, 80 countries, 75, 77 countries in the world. But I've never been to Bali. I really want to go to Bali.
Okay,
Did I say that enough? Maybe Bali will sponsor me to do a show in Bali.
maybe. Who knows? What is your favorite card in a deck of cards?
Oh, the 3 of spades.
3 of spades. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your spice tolerance?
Oh, yeah, a 3.
I'm a 0.
Huh.
I don't do spice at all.
I like spices, hot spices, but there's other spices. But yeah, 3. I wish I could be more.
Okay. If you weren't doing magic, what line of work would you do?
Magic.
Fair enough.
Sorry, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing today, I'd still be doing what I'm doing. Probably not on the scale I'm doing. I'd be someplace in some, I don't know, crappy bar in the back with a light from a dartboard doing my magic.
Fair enough.
If
Okay.
I,
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
oh yes. Oh, Hawaiian pizza created in Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one's going to be a bit controversial, but Marvel or DC?
Oh, Marvel. DC can't make a movie. I love Batman, but DC can't make a movie. They've tried desperately.
His words, not mine. Okay.
Come on, have you seen the last 5 or 6 offerings? Marvel, just off of the Daredevil Netflix series alone, it makes Marvel stand above anything DC's ever put out.
Love it. Okay. If you could meet one celebrity, who would it be?
One celebrity, Garth Brooks.
Ooh.
Isn't that weird? It's right out there on the side. And the reason is who he is and how he brands himself and how talented he is and how he put family before anything.
Okay, fair enough. And final question, which happens to be the most difficult question according to the guests that have been on my show. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In a box, underground, probably with a little tomb thing on it. I'm 61. At 71, I see myself still doing magic. God help it, I'll probably still have my theater. I have a little theater called Hidden Wonders. I'll probably still have it because it's my happiest place I've ever been. And I feel alive and young, and I feel 20 when I step on the stage there. Yeah, I'll still be doing exactly what I'm doing. Hopefully, at a level that's competent. I'll find ways to make it easier for me to still do amazing magic, but keep it fresh and technically cool.
Love it. So, as I mentioned in the intro, you did get to meet the one and only Ellen DeGeneres. What was that like?
It was a really awesome experience. So first and foremost, I didn't know who Ellen DeGeneres was when they called. I know that sounds stupid, but I lived on a cruise ship. I was 10 and a half months a year on a ship. No TV. We just cruised the world. Came home, phone rang. I ignored the phone because it was a number I didn't know, and it looked like one of those scammer calls. Second time it came through, I picked it up and said, hello, blah, blah, blah. And they said, hi, I'm such and such, a producer from the Ellen DeGeneres show. And I was like, and they're like, we'd love to have you on the show. I thought it was some like local cable station or something. I really had no idea. I said, that's great. I don't have a lot of spare time. When were you looking at? And they said, maybe next week. And I was like, oh, so I'm thinking it's just local. I'm going to drive over, whatever. I said, so how about a Monday? Does that work? And they were like, well, we need to see some material first. Can you upload some stuff? And I said, sure, I can put it on the back end of my YouTube and I'll send you a private link. She sends me her Gmail account email. I'm like, that's great. It's Gmail. It's not like ellendegeneres.com or something like that, right? It's like, whatever. Yeah. So I filmed 2 short little things, sent the videos, went downstairs and talked to my wife and daughter and said, some show called The Ellen Show wants to have me. And my wife freaks out. I had no idea what it was. And Hannah says to me, it'd be really cool if you get on that show with the lady that dances with everybody. I'd like to be on that show. And Mom says, that's the show. And I'm like, that afternoon we watch Ellen DeGeneres. And now I feel the weight of the moment going, oh, crap, this is like a legit show in America. And over the next 2 nights, I filmed several more things, sent them to them, understanding now what the show was like and what I could do. And they picked some things and said, you'll do this and you'll do that. And can you bring these 2 in case we want to do another segment or something? I was sure. So I said, if I'm coming to Los Angeles, they said to me, how many people in your team? And I went, team? There's 3 of us. They said, oh, we'll need their names and passports for their flights and accommodations. Do they need separate rooms? I'm like, nope, it's my family. They're like, what? I said, my team's my family's. So they flew Hannah, Lori, and myself out to Los Angeles, put us up in this big 5-star hotel, had a limo driver pick us up, had a limo driver drive us to the studio. They parked us in George Clooney's parking spot. Notice I haven't even got to the show yet, and I'm already stoked. It's like awesome. The driver in the limo turns around and says, you look a little nervous. George Clooney's nervous when he comes here. I'm like, well, that's good. That's nice. It's like, I got inside and they took me to a dressing room with my name on it, big basket of fruit. There was this thing called a bloggy. It was a video camera, had a little camera thing you turned on it. And they said, please make a video and keep the camera afterwards. And I'm like, oh, awesome. They're guest people that look after us, the PAs, public assistants. They were just production assistants. They were amazing. They were, do you need this? Do you need that? Would you like to come down? People are playing pool in the big room. We're like, yeah. It's like Edward Norton. It's like, I'm like, that's Edward Norton. He played the illusionist. And it's like, and the guy Sheldon, whatever his name is, it was the 2 of them and me. I'm like, if you want a moment of imposter syndrome, going, I'm not supposed to be here. I do card tricks. What am I doing? They took me in. We rehearsed. Ellen's not seen me. I rehearsed with a guy named Joe. Mary is the floor manager. A guy named Mike's running the audio. They're all names I remember because everybody treated me so well. They said, can we close in on this? Can we make a wider shot for that? We rehearsed it like 3 times. And then it was showtime. And it was like, they said, just go out, smile, don't dance. Dancing's reserved for the celebrities. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't dance going out. I just walked out. She gave me a hug, kissed me, sat me down, said my name correctly, freaked me out. And I did my spot. When it was over, they said there was a commercial break. And she said, maybe Shawn can stick around and do some more afterwards. I was done. I was like, yeah, I can do more. At the commercial break, she said, when your daughter sees this, I had a picture of Hannah in my wallet. She said, when your daughter sees this, she's going to freak out. I said, she's in the audience. She goes, we don't like it. Oh my God. She got up, ran out, grabbed Hannah, danced with her in the aisle, hugged Lori, came back down, sat down and said, well, now you're golden for a while. I said, oh, hell yes. It's like, she was wonderful. I asked if I could go to my dressing room to get some stuff to do more. And they said no, but they could run up and get it. They ran up, got the stuff. We did more segments, which were great. And then when the show's over, she gave me a big hug, said she wished she could stay, but she was off to do her first day of American Idol as a judge. And off she went. And we went back, collected our little bloggy video camera. I got my Ellen underwear. My daughter was like freaking out. The limo driver took us back on. You look a lot more relaxed now. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. Spent another night, flew out the next day. A week later, we got a DVD in the mail that said Ellen on it. And I thought, oh, it's the show. That's very nice of them. I put it in. It was Ellen dancing with my daughter. Isn't that so cool?
I love that.
They were really good people. She was wonderful. The entire crew were wonderful. The show was really fun. It's funny. I took an idea from 2 other magicians, put a new idea together that included using a Svengali style deck. And people wrote in the comments, I can't believe you used a Svengali deck on Ellen. And my response was, I can't believe you didn't think I would.
Oh, it's just gold.
This is weird. Have you seen this? It only works in lighting for Zoom. If I hold the card like that, you can see it's a 2 of hearts, right?
Indeed.
When I hold it back here, doesn't it look black?
It does.
Yeah, it's the lighting edge. It's when you're here, it's red. And when you're here, it's black. But it looks like a really great illusion. Say, look, I've got a black card. And as you wiggle it, you move it forward, and everybody sees it's red. But back here, it's black. I mean, it looked really cool if it was black up here and red back here. But it won't do that because it's only black here and it's red there. Because if it's black back here and it's black up here, then you know it's a black card. But you know this is a red card, right? Okay, good.
I might need to put my glasses on.
That's a trick.
Wow. Oh, my head. Okay, so when it comes to magic, what are 3 things you look for?
When I'm putting something new in my show?
Yeah.
It's got to be entertaining for me.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be something that I know will entertain an audience.
Mm-hmm.
It has to fit my character.
Yeah.
I see lots of great magic tricks that just don't fit my character. And it has to be adaptable. I don't want to add something to my show that can't be changed, or I don't create all my own magic. I buy magic like everybody else, but I want it to be my own when I perform it. So I'm always looking for stuff that I can adapt, change, that speak to me, that can be added to my story. I've made my magic really about storytelling. I like to share stuff about my life with people when I'm performing. I don't want to just go, hey, I'm that one trick pony that does a magic trick. Anybody can do that. So yeah, those are the 3 things I basically look for. Okay.
So I think everyone watching would like to see, can you show us the magic trick?
This is an old thing. I don't know if you're familiar with the coin and bottle, where you put the coin in the bottle, and they have so many different ways to do it. The way I thought would be cool is like if I just tossed it up and then I caught it like that, like actually That'd be cool, right? Once I started thinking about that, it was like, well, that's too easy. The neck has to be smaller, right? And the
Yeah.
object should be bigger, right?
Yep. Okay. What's next? You're gonna stick a human body in a bottle?
Oh, what a good idea. What a good idea. I'm always looking at new things. This is fun. This is an old idea I created years and years ago, and I think it's neat. I call it special delivery. It's a little envelope. It's the future of mail, I think. You'll be just given a piece of paper like this. This opens up like that. That opens here. This opens like this, and this opens like that. So it's just a sheet of paper. You can see that here. And it you just fold the paper up like this, and you put the little flap on, and you seal it like an envelope. That's it. And then you mail it, and you can mail anything you want to, like expensive credit cards and things like that. And no one will ever find them. That's the part that's important. It's just, but when you need it, it's there. It's just sitting in there. But no one will ever find it. So if other people open up your mail to go look for it, they can't find anything, right? They're like, I don't get it. There's nothing to see. Everybody can see everything all the way around. It's just, yeah. And you can see inside that. And it's just a sheet of paper. This is just literally it's one sheet of paper. There's no little pockets or anything. It's just a sheet of paper, which makes it cool because most people, they don't get the idea. And it's important to keep the little flap up because that's the part that makes it best. If you put the flap down and you open it like that and get into there. Yeah. Yeah. So it's important that it's my job.
Oh, see, that move has to be one of your most signature moves. Like when I saw your video on Penn Teller, you were doing the card to mouth, and that has to be one of your most signature moves.
I love it. Its signature belongs to somebody long before I was born, but I love doing it. I remember watching when I was a kid. I watched Norm Nielsen, and he did this most elegant act with a floating violin and playing cards and coins. But the moment that he spit the cards from his mouth, just it was in my head. I had an old VHS tape, and I must have worn it out just watching that one section over and over, trying to learn how to do it, see how it worked. Once I understood it, how to make it better, how to accentuate it, clicking over your teeth, that sort of thing, all those little extras. I see guys who do it like sideways. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's like I'm making a fan. No, it's you're vomiting cards. It's like that's the part that makes it cool. It's also hard on the decks because when you get because they get like a little. These are stud cards, which are good. They're very resilient to the water. The bicycle ones. The bicycle ones they get that like dark edges on them afterwards. But these, do you want to pick a card? Probably not. Okay, yeah. Oh wait. This is weird. As I go through these cards, let me just give them a quick little shuffle. I want you to look at one card. Oh, there's some face up and face down. That's good. There's cards face up and now face down all the way through. I want you to look at a card and remember the card. You can have any card you want to. Just remember the card. Look at it as I go by. Okay, did you see one?
Yeah.
Did you really?
I did.
There's no way I could know what card you picked because there were lots of them. Would you agree?
Yes.
If I were to tell you your card was red, you'd say no, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because your card was a club.
Yes.
And it was an ace.
Get out of my head. I love the magic like that. Ones that are like simple but have such an
impact. You want something? Yeah. I don't think I love complicated long magic tricks, but I find most of them lose the audience. And in this kind of environment, you need stuff that is visual, fast, interesting. I remember when I was young, they used to flip through cards like that, and they say, as I flip through the cards, you look at a card and you remember it. Did you see one that time?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Did.
Really? That was really fast.
Thank you.
Nope, not got it this time. I think if I were to guess a card,
Yeah.
I would say you picked a red card.
Yeah.
But it was a number card, not a picture card. You thought about the Queen of Diamonds, but then you thought you'd change. Oh, was it the Queen of Diamonds? That's what you were thinking about?
I thought about the Queen of Diamonds.
But then you moved on.
Yeah.
You went to the 3.
Oh my God.
Isn't that fun?
Wow.
I
Okay.
love I love stuff like that because it puts you on a different level when you're like, okay, it's got to be a card trick, but it's not always a card trick.
My thing is just that you knew that I changed my mind, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
totally.
huh? Okay.
I
Right.
saw I saw a magician do the most amazing thing that I've seen in forever. I could try it on you and see if it works.
Yeah, sure.
Here's what I want you to do. Imagine in your world something that you can hold in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
That it's got to be a single word though, and something big, not a small word like dog or cat. Make it lots of letters. The more letters, the better. Even
Okay.
you got something.
Yep.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine there are 2 stacks of tiles. There's a set of letter tiles here and a set of letter tiles. One are all the consonants, the other are the vowels. A, E, I, O, U, just those vowels.
Yep.
And what I want you to do is I want you to spell the word by picking up the tiles. One hand will pick up consonants, the other hand will pick up vowels. You'll put them up in front of me. I'll slowly see the word forming in your head while you're doing it. You know the word?
Yep.
You can spell it correctly. Do it really slowly, not like this. You want to really like that's a, that'd be a B, a C, a D. This would be the E. So 2 different hands for vowels and consonants. And just start to spell out your word right in front of me.
Okay, so we've got consonants here and vowels here.
Oh, you don't have to tell me which one is which. You can switch whatever way you want. I don't care which one is which.
Okay.
That doesn't that would be giving me clues and stuff. I don't need that. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want you physically to know that you're doing something different so that my brain triggers back and forth.
Okay, fair enough. Done.
Wow. That's a lot of letters. If you were looking at the when I think about it, it's like, oh, hold on. Follow me. I'm going to go through it and tell me if I did it right.
Yeah.
Is the first letter a vowel?
Yes.
It's an E.
Close.
It's an A.
No.
It's not an E.
No.
But it's a vowel.
Yes.
That's a word maybe over there that I don't use a lot.
Possibly.
The second letter. Is it a I'm seeing a D. Is it a D?
No.
No. Don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have an out when I want this. That's so good. Oh, nope, I don't have it. Oh, I wish this had worked.
Okay.
You did. What's the first letter?
I.
An I?
Yeah.
And it's something you can hold in your hand?
Yeah.
Wow. I do not have it. Okay, I lose. It was a good try though. What was the word?
So here in New Zealand, you can get like tiny uh geckos, but they're called iguanas, but like they're tiny ones.
An iguana. Oh, so a living creature. A living
Yeah,
creature. Oh, I didn't go living. I was thinking it was physical. Okay. Yeah, iguana would have been good.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Zoom is currently giving me a minute before the
Oh,
Zoom meet finishes. Do you mind if we do a part two?
yeah. I'd be
Yeah.
happy to.
Okay, all good then. Well, Shawn, thank you so much for doing part one. I will be sending you a Zoom link for part two.
We'll talk
Um,
more about iguanas.
yes, yes, 100%. And I will see you very soon.
Bye.